gonna let that simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. Let's take a peek at what's in the oven.
1, 2, 3.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Fee. I'm so glad that y'all are still rocking with me. Today we are making apple shortcake and I am super excited to redeem myself from that last baking escapade. Really, it hurt my heart. Also, we're gonna be talking about, should you even be buying a house? Now, I know that seems like, for me it seems like a easy question, but we'll get into more of why this is our topic for today. And with that, it's going to roll into, is pressure good? Is peer pressure good? I don't know if peer pressure is the exact word I want to use, but we'll see in editing. So let's get started. Today we are making apple shortcake, and our first step is to, it's from this book that my mom gifted me in the episode she was in. If you did not see that interaction, go watch that episode. Okay. So what we're going to do is sift our flour and salt and baking powder into a large bowl. So flour, salt, baking powder. Got it. How much flour? 11 tablespoons of flour. Okay. Now, next is we're going to pour in our salt and our baking powder. How much salt? 1/2 teaspoon. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Okay, so now why are we talking about if you should buy a house at all? Well, because I was watching a TikTok, and on this TikTok, it was saying basically that you don't have to buy a house, that people just pressure you into buying a house, and it's just something people say like, oh, you have to buy a house. That's very true. You don't have to buy a house. You can rent forever. That's exactly what the video said. But when you're renting, you're paying someone else's mortgage. It's literally the same payment. The only difference is when it's your home, you own it. No one can kick you out of that unless you stop paying bills. But when you are renting, someone can kick you out for the simple fact of they want to sell their house. It's way more unstable, in my opinion, renting, because it's not yours. You don't make decisions for that property. But, okay, so we've sifted those 3 ingredients in. Now we're going to stir in the sugar, add the butter, and we're going to rub it together with our fingers until it resembles breadcrumbs. I'm reading this as I go. 1 tablespoon of castor sugar, so 1 tablespoon of sugar. There we go. 2 tablespoons of butter. I melted this butter already. 1 tablespoon. There we go. 2 tablespoons. Yay! To be exact. That was awesome. And now we're mixing it together with our fingers until it's like breadcrumbs. Okay. So, and then another thing that a lot of people think, oh, well, if you're renting, you don't have to repair big things. Like if something big breaks, if the AC breaks, you don't have to do that. The landlord has to do that, or the owner of the home has to do that. You do realize you're paying for that, right? Just because you don't think, just because people will tell you, oh, well, no, you don't have to do that. The landlord's taking care of that. They're taking that out of the rent that you pay every single month. Either way, you're paying for it. The exact same things that you do as a renter, you're going to do as a homeowner. The only difference is you own the home. You don't own that rental property that you lived in for 10 years. And then, what do you have to pass down to your children? That is the biggest part, in my opinion, of purchasing a home, why you should purchase a home. So you could have generational wealth. So you can leave something to your children. So your children can grow up in that home. Your grandchildren can grow up in that home. Now we're going to mix in our milk until it's a soft dough. How much milk? 2 ounces. 1 ounce is 2 tablespoons. So 4 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4 tablespoons of milk. And now we're going to mix this in until it's a nice dough. Because because it was giving breadcrumbs before. Oh, the milk is cold. I think I'm gonna need more dry ingredients. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need more dry ingredients because this is not giving dough at all. Okay, so we're gonna add some more sugar because this is what I wanted to do in the beginning because this is not the right consistency at all. I'm gonna add another tablespoon of sugar. There we go. And another tablespoon of flour. Now I might have messed it up with the flour because it said 5 ounces and I don't have that measurement. So why did I do that? I might have converted it wrong, but So now I'm not putting my hands back in that. We're gonna mix it up like this. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we need more. Dang, maybe I really screwed up that conversion. I'm gonna Google it later. If I did, you won't see that. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, no, what the heck? What the heck? What the heck? Okay. Yeah? Maybe? We're just gonna keep adding flour. Okay, now back to that TikTok and why I thought it was so important to bring that. Because the main purpose was like, don't let people pressure you, da 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 da. Yes, I agree. Peer pressure is not always great. And I say not always because it depends on your peers. Pressure makes diamonds, people. Pressure makes diamonds. And if you want to be a diamond, you cannot forego the pressure part. And some of that pressure is put on by your family, it's put on by your friends. It's pressure to make sure you become the best version of you. Because becoming the best version of you is not an easy process in the slightest. Alright, let's see. I don't want to touch it. We need a lot more flour. It's still not the right freaking consistency. Ma'am, this little book. Okay, more flour. I'm supposed to be able to like roll it out. Still so sticky. I could not have messed up the flour that way. Powder, milk, sugar, yeah. 5.5 ounces. 1 ounce is 2 tablespoons. So 5.5 ounces would be 5, 10, 15, 20. I didn't put enough sugar. I did not put enough flour. So this is my fault. Quick math is not my thing. There we go. Look at that. Soft dough now. Okay. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 425. Do it like a pizza. Let it stretch itself out. There you go. There you go. Now, don't let all people peer pressure you. Okay, let your peers that you look up to pressure you a little bit to get your goals done. In my opinion, pressure makes diamonds. If you want to be a diamond, you're going to have to experience some pressure. And all pressure is not bad pressure. It's not. If someone is pressuring you to buy a house, keep them around. Okay, I got little stampers here. And so they're going to be like little sandwiches. So, stamp out. 1, 2. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Second little sandwich. 2. Alright, now 1, 2. These are coming out so nicely. So nicely. There we go. Pull our leftovers off. Super fun. Cool beans. Alright, now let's get all this out the way, put these on a sheet, and then we're going to make what's going inside of them. Okay, so the book says to butter up our pan. Now this is the butter I used to for the melted butter, so it's already pretty soft. So if you don't want to butter it up, go ahead and use some spray. I literally just don't have any more avocado spray. That's why I'm listening to the recipe. Great. I was about to lick my fingers. That was the... I'm not even gonna address it. I hope I have enough space for all these. I think I will. So we're gonna place them on here. Now, for 15 minutes until the shortcakes are well risen, lightly brown, and then I set them aside to cool. So we're gonna put them in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're going into making the filling first before the rest of this is gonna be done on the stove. What we need to do is we need to cut an apple up. So, and as we saw in the picture, they need to be like, this is about to be good because this is sweet. Okay, cut them in slices. And then we're gonna cut the core out of it. All right. Go to the stove. Now it's time to make the filling for the shortcake. What we're going to do is to make the filling, place the apples, sugar, lemon juice, and cinnamon in a saucepan. So grab our apples. Ta-da! Grab our apples. I'm gonna put all of them in the saucepan. There we go. 3.5 ounces of sugar. So 1 ounce equals 2 tablespoons. So if we need 3 ounces, 2, 4, 6, when you're gonna 7, 1, 7. Great. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. There we go. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now we're gonna add a tablespoon of lemon juice. Look at this giant lemon juice I got. Because we use lemon juice so often now, this just made sense. And I only need 1 tablespoon. So we need 10 fluid ounces, and 1 tablespoon is 1 ounce is 2 tablespoons. Yeah, so we need 10 of those. We need 20 tablespoons. Got it. Okay, our timer just went off for our, what's in the oven? For the bread, so I'm gonna get that in a second. This is 10 fluid ounces of water. We're gonna mix all of that in. Make sure everything's kind of submerged. We're gonna put this on high and make sure everything is submerged. Cool, and we're gonna put a top on this. And we're gonna let that simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. Let's take a peek at what's in the oven. So we burnt them. So 15 minutes is apparently too long. Yeah. Okay, so as you saw before, I burnt them, but I very quickly produced some more. So I'm gonna put them in the oven and keep a closer eye on them. So here you go. Okay, so I set a timer for 15 minutes. I'm not gonna just forget about them this time though. Yeah, but this is doing good. This is doing good. We let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes while I remade everything. I'm just gonna scoop the sauce. All right, so I had it sitting on here. Ooh, would it be bad to try one? I don't think so. I have a small piece right here. That was hot. That was really hot. we're gonna take this off and we're gonna set it aside for a second, and we're gonna start making the cream that goes on top of this. Okay, so as you can see, I took them out of the oven. I only let them stay in there for 10 minutes because they're about cooked, so that extra 5 minutes burned the other pack, the other set. Now we're going to take some heavy whipping cream. or a shake well. I have the Silk version because we don't do dairy in this house, and I didn't know that they had an alternative for this, so that's great. If you saw me use dairy other times, like cheese, leave us alone. We just don't like regular cow's milk. So I'm just gonna get up a hefty pour. I'm really done with that recipe. Burning it made me upset. Oh, and you're fluffing this up until it's until it's fluffy. So that's what we're doing. That tastes like nothing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add sugar. It doesn't say do this, but I'm gonna add some sugar and I'm gonna beat this. Yeah, that's better. It's pretty good now. We're all set. I would recommend putting sugar in the whipping cream because that was disgusting. I don't know, no clue what the recipe got going on. So now we're gonna put everything together. Okay, we've got a plate. We're gonna take 2 of our circle ones. Take the top off of this. Make sure all of your stove stuff is off. We're gonna take some of a tiny piece or a big piece of our little apple. And I really wish that HEB had bigger freaking circle cutters, because this is annoying. But there we go. Squish that on there. There we go. And then we're going to add some of the sauce. Was I supposed to let this thicken up? No clue. Who knows? Probably. And then I needed another spoon. It's good. It may not look right, but it's good. And then our cream. Put that on top. This could be thicker for sure, but who cares? Now we're gonna take our top. This looks nothing like the picture. Looks nothing like the picture. My dad's standing there and looks, leave me alone. You don't have to eat it, I will. It tastes good. Each individual part tastes good. I don't know about this bread, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, as we're just gonna repeat with all of these. But as I put these together, it's still not the right consistency. How does what we were talking about today apply to Jesus? Well, in the same way I was saying that those that surround you, if they're pressuring you to buy a house, that's not a bad pressure in my opinion. The Lord chastens after whom he loves. So that's going to feel like pressure. The Lord is going to correct those who he loves. That's going to sound like, that's going to feel like pressure. It's not going to feel good. Pressure makes diamonds though. And that's how you know the Lord loves you. When you are getting corrected, when you're being molded by the Lord, that is a show of you are right on track, because the Lord is taking away everything that would normally harm you. He's purifying you. He's making you into the new creature that he says you are to be once you accept him in your life. So allow your peers, those that are encouraging you. If someone is encouraging you to buy a house, that is not a bad pressure at all. Don't, of course, stress yourself out. Work towards it, because it is possible for everyone. It takes some discipline. It takes some planning for sure. But it is very possible for everybody. So if someone is, pressuring you to do something that's good for you, that pressure, I would say it's a good pressure. Okay. Don't do drugs. That's a bad pressure for sure. But the Lord chastens after you. The Lord chastens whom he loves, okay? The Lord disciplines who he loves. He corrects who he loves. And that is a great sign of being loved. So those that are pressuring you into doing things that are bettering your life, they're showing you that they love you, okay? That is a show of love. They want what's best for you. Renting for the rest of your life, no offense, is dumb. It's so dumb, because where all of your money went to nothing. It went to absolutely nothing. And that sucks. It really does suck to think about. So, yeah. Buy a house to create generational wealth for your family, so when you're gone, you can pass something down. And also, so you own something on this earth. That's also a pretty big thing. Okay, don't forget about the stuff that you can't control, but you can control your living arrangements, okay? You can control, okay, I don't want to rent for the rest of my life. That's not a good decision. It's not a good investment because you're pouring into someone else's pocket. Invest in yourself, invest in your family, create some stability. That's what purchasing a home is, some stability for families, for you. It brings income in if you use it as an investment. It brings just joy and love to you having your own home, being able to do whatever you want, not getting approval from your landlord because that's their house. So, yeah, the Lord chastens whom he loves. The Lord is going to correct you. The Lord is going to put some pressure on you because pressure creates diamonds. That's all, folks. Now, let's taste test this. Okay. This looks nothing like the picture. It's super messy, but I don't care. It's good. It's sweet. Not the right consistency. What do you think? I think it's good. Just the wrong consistency. With more cream. Uber messy too. Alrighty, so that was this episode. I would give the recipe an 8 because, well, I would give I would give this a 10 because I would give it a 10. Even though the consistency is a bit off, it still tastes good. Recipe, I would do it again. I would love to master how to get this freaking whip to not be so watery. Any tips would be appreciated. Thanks. See you next week. Same day, same time, different recipe. Bye.
1, 2, 3.